British Grand Prix here at Silverstone in wet conditions. Who will make the whole shot? Great start there from Lorenzo. Lorenzo and Rossi gets a good start from row 2. Straight away Lorenzo into the lead. Look who's up the inside. Paul Espargaro and Cox in third place. Valentino Rossi fourth. Oh, falls at the back already.
That's Nicky or Yuji?
We'll find out in a moment. That's at Cox corner. No speculation as we go through Maggot's corners onto Beckett. Oh, look at this. These two, they've got form, haven't they, round here? Here comes Pole. Oh, not a wet weather rider. Here by Scott Redding on that motorcycle. Johnny Hernandez is on his way. Scott Redding has signed. It's been official this weekend. He'll be a Ducati rider next year. But right now, they've got all eyes on the 99 Yamaha. It is Lorenzo, then it's Marquez, then it's Paul Espargaro from Valentino Rossi in fourth place at this moment in time. Pedrosa's there, Smith's there, Crutchlow's in seventh place. He had only 8. Again, Paul Espargaro through to second place, just for Julian.
I'm delighted to be proved a complete fibber.
But, out wide there for Danny Pedrosa, manages to pull it back in front of Bradley Smith. That's Cal Crutchlow? Yes, it is. Cal Crutchlow. For a minute, it looked a bit Jack Miller-esque, I've got to say. That would have been brilliant. Onto the wing straight, then down towards back through the gearbox.
And Rossi past Marquez. Miller, though, only a couple of paces further back. But Valentino takes third off Marquez, makes it stick, sets off after Paul Espargaro.
This last little bit, the tight loop that we come down to now. There goes Valentino Rossi on Paul Espargaro. There goes Marquez following him through. Well, Paul had a good opening lap, pushing and shoving those two, but out front, easing away, is Lorenzo.
Well, they're tripping each other up. Did you enjoy that, Colin?
Yeah, I mean, these two guys are seeing Lorenzo. He's getting in his groove, he's out front, he's got fresh air. They don't want him to get any further ahead. They got to push.
And Marquez had to push past back Valentino rather rapidly.
Look at Miller.
Pace, but it's not quick enough right now. He needs to wick it up a bit.
Hard to lead a race on a track that's changing. Either it's getting wetter in one place and drier in another. Tricky old Silverstone racetrack then. They're going to get quicker and quicker. Last time round 226.292. The Moto2s were doing that earlier today when it was wet. Up the inside. Valentino Rossi looked at it. The crowd have gone mad here already. And Lorenzo forced out just a fraction.
Miller's gone past Bradley. Jack Miller on the move.
Don't need so much power when you've got a slippery old racetrack to deal with. And Jack Miller's making an open class LCR Honda work. Good for him. Could be a quality. That's the surprise that we were expecting in the conditions.
Always get one in these sort of conditions. Usually more than one.
It's early days. Past the wing we go. Colin Edwards is out of his chair here watching this. 2 M1 Yamahas out front with Marc Marquez pacing himself. We're looking at Jack Miller.
Petrucci's right behind the Miller dice. He's moving up on the 2014 Ducati.
Crutchlow and Miller, 6th and 7th at the moment. Bradley Smith in 8th place. Petrucci. There goes Valentino Rossi, but Lorenzo didn't want to let him have it, did he? He wanted to lean on him. Rossi then leads. A sea of yellow as the Italian hits the front, and through comes Marc Marquez. He's not going to hang around, is he? He's doing exactly what he did in Indy, shadowing the race leader. This time, though, it's Valentino Rossi.
I've got Miller in 5th.
Yeah, Miller has moved up in front of Crutchlow. I think I saw that just a little while ago. There it is, and back comes Cal Crutchlow. These two are swapping. Well, it's a paint matches if they do swap it. Rossi. Now Marquez. Oh, Marquez looks like a bit of a weapon, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Marquez, he's gaining his confidence. You know, he's got a couple laps in, and he's looking menacing.
Tell us a bit about it, Colin. It floats over the Silverstone surface, doesn't it, in the circumstances with this kind of... Do you want to keep off the curbs nowadays, or have they got the right kind of paint on in modern day painting? Through goes Cal, by the way.
You don't want to go anywhere near the paint. You just never know.
Rossi leads. What's the distance over the line? It was just a tenth. We've bulked up a bit. Coming through. Look at this. We've got Cal Crutchlow making a move. Cal Crutchlow has come through now. Cal Crutchlow grabs the place and forces Lorenzo out. Miller pinches a place from Paul Espargaro. It's all happening around this racetrack. Out front is Valentino Rossi. Then it's the 93 of Marc Marquez, and behind him now, Cal Crutchlow has gone third. Lorenzo's been forced back to fourth. Miller is fifth. Paul Espargaro. Oh, now they go. The 2 LCRs have gone out of it. It's Crutchlow and Miller down in unison. Lucio Cecchinello will be weeping in his beer later on today. Down has gone the 2. I'm not going to make any kind of comment on that now.
And that arm that he doesn't talk about is really handicapping him.
Miller takes Crutchlow out, and that effectively ends the LCR threat to Lorenzo, who was pushed back already to 4th. He now has 3rd place again. Paul Espargaro now takes over the 4th place from Pedrosa in 5th. Petrucci is in front of Smith now in 6th place. Dovizioso is only 8th. Aleix Espargaro is 9th. And Andrea Iannone 10th, with Scott Redding in 11th place. And where's Eugene Laverty at the moment? Only
down the back, I'm afraid.
So he's not making that work like we may have expected him to. So who is the it underneath? Well, whatever you do, it wasn't Cal's fault.
He dove for a hole, but the hole just wasn't there.
And the team owner will be having words.
Yeah, I mean, Lucio, that's just what he doesn't need. The main sponsor has now gone through a bit of shenanigans behind the scenes. So, fastest lap to Rossi. Rossi really, now this is where he has got to draw on every inch of his, every moment of his 36 years, hasn't he? This is going to be down to the experience. If he can't pull away from Marc Marquez, then he's got a problem.
Yeah, this is just put your head down, put the laps together. Marquez looks like he can catch him pretty easy. So, if I was Valentino, just go out there and put the work in, do your laps, and then come 2-3 laps to the end, you got to see where you're at.
Dobby's moving up. He's just taken Bradley Smith. And the top open man out there with Miller's now walking. The top open man is Mike D'Amelio. There's that 2014 Ducati.
So Cal Crutchlow,
Did he have slick tires on? It looked like he had a slick rear end.
Which is, we certainly saw a wet front on it coming out.
They were both wet tyres. I'm sure they were both wet.
So he's going to get a black flag.
Anyway. Not a good day for Cal Crutchlow, but Valentino Rossi, this may be the day that he was looking for, and at the moment, even if he did finish second, he'd still get in front of Jorge Lorenzo, who that he is equal on points in going into this race.
Look back to Lorenzo, he's now being harassed properly by Danny Pedrosa. But you draw attention to the important point, Keith. In terms of the championship, it's Yamaha versus Yamaha. And look at the queue behind Lorenzo and Petrucci.
It's always been a situation where Danny needs to help Marc Marquez regain this world title. It's a situation where Danny Pedrosa, that injury he had after that, not his fault, off in Brno, he's got him. Then the operations he had earlier on in the season, Pedrosa hasn't been the wingman that Marquez really needs when you've got two Yamahas firing as competitively as they are this year.
I think Lorenzo's got some serious grief arriving in the next lap or three.
I think Valentino has. During the course of the race, and if it starts to dry out, I mean, how will these soft weather tyres, soft compound wet weather tyres on the MotoGP bikes fare if it dries?
No, you don't want it to dry out, especially on the soft one. It'll look like those Dunlops in Moto2, and it's just a matter of time you're going to have to come in and grab the other bike.
How long does it take to jump from one bike to another? Do you guys time it up? Pit lane, the length of pit lane?
2.478 seconds.
In the air.
In the air.
From your backside leaving one saddle to hitting the next one.
But there is, think about it seriously, there's quite a lot of time to be gained on that transition from one bike to the other. You make a fumble.
As Marc Marquez discovered, or rather he was the first one to take it seriously, the bike-to-bike off, and everybody else then had to take it seriously. All wide.
Costs a lot of money to actually gain a second a lap, and if you can gain a second in pit lane, that's money that you don't have to spend.
Mark did put a full twist into it as well, just to liven it up a bit.
Triple Salco. We'll have to talk to our Strictly dancer to work out the moves now, won't we?
I'm liking the look of these two Ducatis.
So are they when they got Lorenzo.
Indeed.
Still Valentino Rossi. Now that's a bit of a lead that we've got there. It was, 0.2 at the line last time between Valentino.
They've been speeding up, Keith. For both the last two laps, they've been best lap of the race,
which
is first and second and third, although Lorenzo did not add to it this time.
It's about the evolution of this track. It's not raining hard out there now, although there is still good amounts of water to stop the tyres from getting destroyed.
Does the fuel load going down make it easier in the wet, or is that not such an issue in the wet?
Not really an issue, to be honest with you, but what it is these guys, they're just gaining confidence. Like I said, they had 6-7 laps this morning, so now they're getting out there, they're angry, they're in race mode, so they're just pushing little bit by little bit. You can see it in the lap times. Every lap's getting a little bit better.
2:17.8 for both of them, 2:18.5 for Lorenzo back in third place as we look now.
Hello, Danny.
That's almost an artistic shot from the heli camera, isn't it?
Posterised almost, we used to call that once, kid. And Petrucci has taken Pedrosa, Danilo Petrucci, on the satellite Ducati.
This is not really what Marc Marquez wanted. He needs Pedrosa and Petrucci to be in front of Lorenzo.
How close are they to the... Oh, Danilo Petrucci on the rostrum.
Anything's possible.
I tell you, the amount of effort that man has put in since grabbing that Pramac.
All the Ducati is up to 13th and leading the open class brilliantly.
Short shifting up through Woodcote Corner past the BRDC suite, the British Racing Drivers Club suite there. Those good old boys looking out on the motorcycles for a change, and it is still Valentino Rossi who is inducted into the BRDC this week as well as a member. And look at this, Lorenzo under pressure from Petrucci. Petrucci's right there on the Ducati. It's coming his way.
Big smile under the crash helmet.
And then it's a bit... Whoa! Colin Edwards!
That was close. That was close.
3 men on their feet in the commentary box there, and Petrucci ran so hot. Well, that just goes to show that Ducati's actually pretty good on the front end, because anybody else would have folded it there.
Fastest laps again for the front two, for the 4th lap in a row.
Here we go. Yeah. He's going to surely slide it up the inside this time on Jorge, and does.
No. Maybe he scared himself a little last time.
This weekend. And of course, Pramac making the big announcement with Carl Fogarty here as well, involved in that big announcement, that Scott Redding will switch from Mark VDS last year to Pramac next year.
That Yamaha gets out of the corners better than the Honda in these conditions. And by the way, the open class fight, D'Amelio and Nicky Hayden are going to and fro, overtaking each other once or twice a lap in the fight for top open.
What do you think about that move? What do you think about this move? Get involved with us. BT Sport MotoGP as Lorenzo tries to lean on Danilo Petrucci. Petrucci muscles his way past on the Ducati though. The Pramac Ducati then comes through the factory Ducati. So Lorenzo loses 2 places. This is not good for his championship, that's for sure. Because his teammate is equal with Valentino Rossi on 211 points, although leads the championship because he's got 5 wins compared with Valentino's 3. But this is not doing Lorenzo any good at all. What do you think, Jules?
I think that I was going about it a long-winded way earlier. Half a season to get
Petrucci into Vizioso. The Ducatis have woken up here in the wet.
fastest lap of the race for Valentino again, but this time Marquez did not respond.
As this track evolves, we'll see whether the Honda will come back to Valentino. Rossi, though, no mug in these difficult conditions. 36 years we were talking about. You know, you're starting to wear out when you get to that age. There's Colin Edwards, I think, that quoted that. Nothing to do with me. So long ago, I can't remember what it felt like to be 36, but you start to get tired. But is it easier in these conditions for an older fella?
I don't know if it's easier, but I can look at Valentino's body language right now, and he is riding hard. I mean, he's riding as fast as he can, and Marquez looks like he's kind of holding on to his coattails.
But it looks more difficult than we thought it was at the start of the race. Or am I imagining things?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Colin, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like he's hanging on.
Look on your rhythm, don't you, in the rain?
And he's one of those guys who definitely was not a wet weather rider not that long ago. So kudos to the man for, as you say, applying himself. Hello.
We might have written off Marc Marquez. He's closed the gap right up. They are 16 seconds off the qualifying pace in what is still, in places, a very, very wet track, which is good for the Bridgestone wet tyres. Personally,
this should be an interesting lap because Valentino just went half a second faster than his previous lap, and Marquez has caught him now. So are they going to be doing 15s?
You would think, wouldn't you?
Last lap was 16.48, and that was the fastest lap of the race so far by Valentino Rossi. Oh, he's on him. He's absolutely on him.
Of course, these two, the relationship changed between Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez earlier this year. It's amazing. The dynamic at press conferences, I hate press conferences, but I must say that watching these two interact now...
17 by Valentino. Was there a mistake we didn't see?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Something happened there, but obviously Marquez did about what they did last.
Report from pit lane as well, Colin. It's raining much more heavily now. So we are getting more rain. We're not seeing it on our cameras, which is a good thing, but it is raining heavier down in pit lane. So that's, again, will that play into the hands of the veteran Yamaha man or the young double and defending world champion, the 93 of Marc Marquez behind him?
If we put the flag out now, Rossi gains 15 points over Jorge Lorenzo. And back to what I said about that 29 points, Keith, I'm going to labour the hell out of that one.
I think the best point to have made that you made earlier on as well, Julian, is the fact that a mistake will certainly throw this championship wide open. It's Marquez who's the hunter, isn't it? You've got the two Yamaha guys who are pretty equal in places. You know, as we move on through these next few Grand Prix, Rossi and Lorenzo can throw a bit of a blanket over them, but it's about what they give back, to my definition.
If not that Marquez needs any more confidence, but obviously Valentino pulled a little bit of a gap on him, and Marquez climbed his way back. That right there would give him, okay, I got this. You know, I just got to sit here, hang out, and then make my move when I want and go away.
What a great feeling that is as well, isn't it? It just makes you smile. You can feel it when you're out on the bike. You know, I've got this sorted. I've just got to sort myself out for the time that I'm going to make the pass.
And conversely, the guy in front of you knows it's happened. His pit board would have told him about the gap coming down. So you're feeling quite the reverse if you're the other guy.
On cue, they just showed the pit board. And yeah, it would have been probably 0.3 or 0.4 at one time. And now he sees it's 0.1, he's right there on you.
I think you start seeing this 0.6.
But then you switch into the other strategy if you're Valentino. Yeah, okay, I can't break away from him. But you've already got your mindset for the second that Marc Marquez does make his move, you're straight back at him. Remember Assen, Marc Marquez got under him all right, but as soon as Valentino was pushed into the gravel, he was on the... Also shows you just what a good decision of keeping Danilo Petrucci in the Pramac team is, who will be alongside Scott Redding next year. Johnny Hernandez will go off to Avintia, won't he?
I believe so. And Mike D'Amelio, who's currently fighting for top open class, is he? No, Nicky Hayden's got through 13th. Nicky Hayden.
You asked the question earlier, Julian. There's your answer. Nicky Hayden then in the wet. Come on, the Americans.
Yeah, he finished fourth here in 2011 when I finished third. He was pushing me the whole race. So Hayden goes pretty good around here.
Number 69, 12th place at the moment. Bautista in front of his Aprilia teammate Bravo. Maverick Vinales, now that's slightly a shock for me. I know he's a rookie. I know it's tricky on a new bike, but
Only 15. Did he go for the different tyre choice?
No, I think he went out on turn 1 and Hernandez crashed.
Yes, there was a blue bike pushed out.
Yeah. By the way, through has come the Vizioso finally on Petrucci. So the factory Duke having the rostrum
since Argentina.
Look at these two then, first and second place. Valentino Rossi holding the two-time MotoGP world champ behind him, the 22-year-old Spaniard versus the 36-year-old Italian as they come to the line. Out of Woodcote then. Amazes me how they manage to find the traction they find in these kind of conditions with a motorbike that's just... Oh, he's down and gone! Yes, he's gone down! Marc Marquez has crashed at Cops Corner here at Silverstone. So young Marc Marquez has crashed out into the gravel. It's on those ripples that you've got on the way in there by the look of it to me. But Marc Marquez has gone down. That has left Valentino Rossi clearly out front with 8 laps to go.
Open it. Another symptom?
Yeah, but in particular they didn't have any wet weather running really, did they, except warm up this morning. So Valentino Rossi then, what's he got now? A 6-second lead, 6.5 second lead over Andrea Dovizioso in second place, who's gone in front of Danilo Petrucci. We saw that. Danny Pedrosa is fourth, Jorge Lorenzo fifth. Pol Espargaro in sixth place in front of Bradley Smith, who's 1.2 seconds back on his teammate now. Aleix Espargaro is eighth on the Suzuki, Scott Redding is ninth, and Andrea Iannone on the other factory Ducati is in tenth place. Nicky Hayden has moved up in front of Bautista for 11th place.
That's a great ride from Nicky on the customer Honda. It's always worth reminding yourself why world champions are world champions, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not wanting to state the obvious here, but Petrucci and Pedrosa, they're going quite a little bit faster than Valentino. If Valentino sees his pit board and backs off too much, these guys are going to be sniffing around pretty quick.
It was about a mistake. We talked about it all the way through the early part of this. Who was going to blink first? Who was going to make the first mistake out of the top guys? But it turns out,
but he's not a guy really in contention for the champion.
Yeah, but it was about a mistake from the other two. Absolutely. That's my point. And talking it into context, we were talking along the line. Somebody somewhere, there was going to be a mistake. Here, just yet, we've lost Stefan Bravo. Crashed out. Slipping down the order. Rider okay, it says here. Here's Dovi and Petrucci side by side. Well, they gave him wings, but they didn't tell Petrucci he needed them.
We could see Danilo Petrucci on the rostrum at a Moto Grand Prix race. If he can stick on the rear wheel of number 04 and they can fend off the resurgent Jorge Lorenzo.
There's always an upset when you get these kind of conditions. We said about it at the beginning when they were on the grid. Who was going to provide us with the upset? We've seen one. Marc Marquez gone down. Petrucci may well be another one. We've got this championship for Yamaha now. It's looking rosy.
Slightly random roster when you get these conditions.
Hey guys, Dovizioso is catching Rossi. He's catching...
Scott Redding has moved up to 8th place in front of Aleix Espargaro as well. And there is Danilo Petrucci, moves through on the factory Ducati. Pushes it and then rubs his nose in it.
Triple feeling. Yeah, I don't like it. I never did like it. You're putting everything out there. I mean, Valentino, by lap time, you saw him back off just a little bit for that one lap, and now he's back on it.
Did we see on Rossi's pit board whether they're telling him it's Petrucci who's chasing him? Because that would be a shock.
That would be a major shock to the system.
Yeah, it said Petrucci on there, so Valentino knows exactly who it is.
If it was Dobby, he wouldn't be... Maybe it was Shock he slowed down with, I don't know.
Well, he wants these guys between him and Lorenzo. The importance of this is that he needs that extra assistance at this part of the year. Here's Petrucci, seemingly has got the better of Dobby at the moment, barring any kind of mistake.
And Dobby won't know whether to laugh or cry if it ends up like that.
Same tyres as well, remember, they're all on the soft front and rear Bridgestones. A hop, skip and a jump then.
And Jorge's got real problems again because Danny Pedrosa's back at him.
It's down to 2.4 Rossi to Petrucci last time round. This is going, it looks closer to me now.
It's 2.3, Keith, you're a genius.
Man, I think the doctor here is going to have some trouble here in a couple laps.
That's not a good line though, by the way, Jill. That was the last sector that was 2.3. I'm not a genius until we know it at the end of the day.
I know, Hewitt's third rule of racing, don't give me numbers unless it's over the start-finish.
That's where the flag is.
He has this symmetry thing, I can't bother him with other numbers.
I'll say it again, that's where the flag knows it's Petrucci on the board.
That's me.
It is Petrucci on the board, but Petrucci is riding absolutely out of his socks.
Yeah, I'm impressed. He's been riding good all year.
Exactly.
He's been riding good all year, and this is what he needed, you know, that just kind of evens everything out, the conditions, and he sees an opportunity to actually win a race. He's going to go for it.
He has scored points in every race with 3 ninth places as his top finishes.
And his teammate for next year, Scott Redding, on the Mark VDS Honda at the moment, is in 6th place in front of Bradley Smith. So Scott Redding is having, I'll tell you what, Pramac are going to lead the British Grand Prix. Very happy boys. They've made the announcement Scott Redding's joining them next year. And with, at the moment, Petrucci on a pretty solid podium place with 4 laps to go. Got to say, Octo Pramac,
It's down to 1.6 seconds, guys.
Getting closer. This kid, you said it already.
You're a raging Valentino Rossi fan as a youngster, and you come up behind, the national hero. Whether your mind wanders a little bit, whether...
I think you come to a time in your life, Julian, where you don't wander. Suddenly you have the beating of someone, and whether he's a legend or not, I hope Colin will
Yeah,
get me
I agree. It doesn't matter who it is. He's got the momentum going. He knows that there's somebody in front of him. Doesn't matter who it is. All I got to do is pass that one guy, and I'm actually going to win a Grand Prix. Come on now, it doesn't matter who it is.
And he has nothing to lose. He's got no championship to think about. There are no other things in his mind apart from doing his job.
Contract for next year's there.
Already sorted. So he's got just that point. One more bike in front of him. Stand on the top step of the podium. And again, we have to go back a long time. I remember what that feels like. To be second on a Grand Prix podium, it's fantastic, and I'll never ever like to give it back. But to finish an acceptance that the championship is too difficult, but don't expect the kid to give up. He's now just going to go flat out for wins from this point on.
Another illustration of just what we were talking about. He wasn't interested in second place, the victory that was all that concerned him.
He couldn't be interested in second place for the championship. That was his thing. He had to throw caution to the wind and go for it for those 25 points. Now it's about the two Yamahas. Out went wide Dobby. Yeah. Dobby was out on a real car park route there. Has that given Lorenzo an opportunity to pull back third place?
Nicky Hayden passed the Suzuki of Maverick Vinales for 11th. There is Lorenzo.
Yeah, Dobby closed back because Dobby made a big mistake, and Lorenzo's back on his case now. So whether Dobby's going to hang on or not. We're on the penultimate lap. We've got a lap and a half left of the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone in... well, they've not been awful conditions, but they've not exactly been the best, that's for certain.
We really lost the closer from that guy. Last time I looked, he was right with them.
Vinales has gone back in front of Hayden, Julian, for that battle that's going on for 11th place. We would prefer to hear the British national anthem, but as it is at the moment, I'll settle for a Dr. Win.
All the crowd.
I think everybody here wants him to win.
Yep.
Although there's a few Danilo Petrucci fans who might just have an issue with you.
There's a few more now.
Oh, yeah.
After this race, that's for sure. Rossi from Petrucci, that's the distance. There's not going to be much more happening, barring a mistake. Dobby's just about hanging on. And he will be up on the podium. Jorge Lorenzo looks like he's only going to have 13 points back in fourth. Valentino Rossi is a couple of miles away from winning the British Grand Prix. It was predicted, if it rained, that this would be the man to beat. And so it has proved. Valentino Rossi has not disappointed anybody. Yamaha are in control of the 2015 MotoGP Championship. But once again, it's the 36-year-old Italian. If he wins his 10th world title this year, he surely will be confirmed as the GOAT, the greatest of all time, I think, as monikered by the man alongside us here, Colin Edwards.
He is. Always has been the GOAT.
The rain has started to come down even harder here now in Northamptonshire. Valentino Rossi finally moves his way round. Oh, it's a smile from Liz Jarvis. That's an amazing feat as well. And Valentino Rossi comes down at the historic Walcott corner to take the checkered flag. He is the doctor. He is the victor here in the British Grand Prix. And history is made as Danilo Petrucci comes through in second place for Andrea Dovizioso from Jorge Lorenzo for Danny Pedrosa only fifth. Scott Redding of Great Britain surely will get